कदम आगे फिर दो कदम पीछे।
हेल्थ और टेस्ट की लड़ाई में अब आप रहिए 2 कदम आगे विद फिलिप्स एयर फ्रायर। इसकी ट्विन टर्बो स्टार टेक्नोलॉजी कुक्स विद अप टू 90% लेस फैट। देयर इज ऑलवेज अ वे टू मेक लाइफ बेटर। इनोवेशन एंड यू, फिलिप्स।
Amazing to be back again. These are times which are such unprecedented times we are in, and I'm still at the Shiro. They really took care of my lunch at the moment. I had some really nice Thai green curry. It's my absolute favorite. Dane Fernandez, I really had this lunch because I was feeling hungry looking at your pumpkin pie. It reminded me of Christmas, like Abhijit Saha was saying, that sweet taste of pumpkin, that the aroma when it's done right. I've had the opportunity to have some amazing pumpkin pies, but this really looked amazing, and I'm going to surely catch you when I'm in Mumbai to feed me on this. That was lovely. Let's quickly move on to what we've been talking about. One of my most exciting topic, of course, before we forget, Abhijit Saha, such a great gentleman. Thank you for being with us here. We just grabbed you and had a conversation. It was amazing. My favorite topic, of 2019 was how I was crazy about this man who I'm going to start. Of course, I started talking about, and I'm going to continue from here. One quote which left with me, and it will remain for the rest of my life, is this, which I'm going to read out. Marco Pierre White said this: "Success is born out of arrogance, but greatness comes out of humility." This kind of a quote can come out of a man like him. I'll read this again for you guys. Success is born out of arrogance, but greatness comes out of humility. This is such a beautiful quote which I've kept for myself, and honestly, the chefs who've taken time out to do these master classes, it's a long process. Ingredients, the right recipe, like chef was saying, we want to teach you what you can cook at home. All these chefs, I thank them from the bottom of my heart because they have done a great job till now. I see so many people contributing. It's such a beautiful experience to see all of this come to life, and I'm emotional about what you guys are doing, and please go spread the word, keep contributing. It's gonna be a great sweet Saturday, starting from now, because absolute amazing Ruhi Bhimani, who's gonna take over the masterclass. She's a well-known pastry chef, Lots of people have told us great things about her. This is the first time we're working with her, but I'm really excited of what she's making. For some reason or the other, we've not been able to work, but this time this was a chance. This is an eggless option, and I know that there's so many fans who look for an eggless option. With the world going vegan, with the world going eggless, this is going to be a really fun recipe. The brown butter caramel cake is what I'm looking forward from her. And I'm going to come back and catch up with you just after this break. Till then, you guys go ahead and get a beautiful, make sure that you bake a beautiful cake, put your pictures up, #Warp goes live, and we will go and pick up one winner, whether you put it up on Instagram, whether you put it up on Facebook or on Twitter, and give them a Philips air fryer. 5 Philips air fryers to be won. There are lots of contests happening. You must have seen there are 2 more days to go, like today and tomorrow. This is your time to go and showcase to the world that you can cook, you can bake. So I'm looking forward to see all your beautiful recipes come out well, and of course, today still at Shiro. Shiro is also going to be one of the restaurants which are showcasing their dishes on World on a Plate, exclusively available on Swiggy. We have 35 top restaurants who've handpicked their dishes for you, especially for this for the World on a Plate goes live. Go and order it. People who are not cooking, make sure you order, because you're going to have a great experience with these signature dishes. We want to sign off. We're going to go move on to the next venue, but right now, thank you, Shiro, for having us here. And for the next masterclass, we'll be in another venue. Till then, see you there.
Hello everyone, I'm Chef Ruhi Bimani. We'll wait for a few people to join in. Until we are waiting, let me tell you a little about me. I'm a pastry chef by profession and I expertise in egg-free bakes and desserts. Owner of Kurva Palace, Mumbai. Guys, I can't tell you how excited I am to be a part of World on a Plate goes online. Guys, I've been following World Hunger Warriors ever since Corona has struck, and they've been doing some phenomenal job. They've been on ground, they've been feeding migrant laborers, and they've fed almost over 500,000 people on ground, and they have set up their very first soup kitchen on wheels. And they are all out there to go ahead and feed more and more people, and this won't be possible without your support. So I urge you to go ahead and make generous donations, and here I am doing my bit by spending time with you and helping you learn something new and absolutely delicious. Guys, this is one of my signature recipes. It's called the brown butter caramel cake. It is the most yummiest, gooeyest, and the most easiest cake to make. So guys, let's get started. Guys, I hope you all have downloaded your recipe from www.woab.in, and let me go through the recipe with you. So as you can see, the recipe is divided into 3 parts. We have the caramel cake, then we have the crumble, and last we have the glaze. Alright, so let's first start with the caramel cake. Right. So for that, we need 110 grams of butter. What I have done is I've used salted butter, and I prefer salted butter because I just feel it gives a beautiful taste. Next, I have 145 grams of castor sugar. I prefer castor sugar. You can still take green sugar if you wish to, but I feel castor sugar works the best. Next, I have taken 85 grams of cooking cream. This is regular cooking cream, and what I like to do is I like to weigh even the liquid measurements in grams. So this is 85 grams of cooking cream. Next, here I have 145 grams of your regular flour, and so this is your regular maida that is easily available. Next, I have 90 grams of milk. So this is your regular milk. I would like it to be at room temperature. Lastly, I have 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Guys, I have taken Bluebird baking powder. If you are taking any other baking powder which is double action, then instead of taking 1 teaspoon, you will take half a teaspoon. Alright, but in my recipe, I have used the regular baking powder, which is Bluebird. So this is 1 teaspoon. And what I've done is I've added pinch salt right here in the recipe. Alright guys, so let's get started. This is really exciting. I hope you have your ingredients right there with you all. And I'll take you all step by step, for the recipe. Now, first what we're going to do is we're going to make the brown butter. And we'll keep it aside. So once it cools, we get a lovely brown butter to work with. Next, we will be making the caramel, and then we will be adding everything all together. Alright, so let's get started. For that, you'll need a hot plate and a saucepan. So guys, come on, get everything out and let's get working, let's get baking. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my brown butter, but just before I start with my brown butter, what I'm going to do is I'm going to preheat my oven at 160 degrees Celsius for 5 to 10 minutes. So what I like to do is, before I start baking, I like to preheat the oven. So while I'm done with assembling all the ingredients, my oven is already preheated. Okay, so let's get started. 160 degrees Celsius for 5 to 10 minutes. I think it is an amazing idea to bake along. I know this looks like quite a bit, 3 different elements that we're going to make and assemble everything together. But guys, it's absolutely doable and we will make it happen today, right? So you need a saucepan, switch on your hot plate and go on medium heat. And let's put in all the butter inside. Okay, this will take around 3 to 4 minutes. So let's get going. I prefer to take butter at room temperature so it goes faster. I personally like to work with salted butter because I think it just gives you better flavor, and since we're doing caramel, salted butter will always add more flavor and texture to your cake. Okay. Now, you can also work on your gas stoves back home, right? It's absolutely fine. You can work on medium heat, and what you need to do is just keep stirring this, okay? Don't forget, you have to keep stirring this. You know, the best thing about baking is you need to enjoy the process, and the minute you enjoy the process, it's seen in your work, it's seen in your face, and the person who is having the end product is also very happy, right? So that's the magic of baking. I started baking not until my hotel management, so we had 3 years of degree course, and I learned a lot during that time. And post that, it was all about experimenting different recipes to come up with more egg-free recipes. Right. Okay. So guys, now it's going to start bubbling. Okay, and you can see the fumes right here. Okay. Let me show you if I can. Right, it's bubbling. So we're going to keep cooking this until you get a brown color, you can find the fumes, they emit nutty aroma, right? It's already smelling so good. Take your time, don't hasten the process, okay? Go easy, just enjoy the process. It's amazing to see that so many of you all have joined in, And I'm really happy that I'm able to do my bit, by sharing my time and knowledge with you all and doing this amazing recipe. And this recipe is specially curated for Moldova clay. So guys, go ahead and give it a try. You see, now it's become brown. Okay? I can show you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it in a transparent bowl so I can show it to you. It's easier for you all to see that way. Just ensure that you don't go over brown, like, just keep a check. Ensure that you're using a saucepan which is transparent and which is not dark colored, because it will be very difficult for you to understand the color otherwise. Yeah. What I ideally like to do is, after making the brown butter, I like to keep it aside so that all the solids, they settle down, and I just have the butter, and I just strain the butter. So let's do that. After I've cooked this, let me just keep it aside, right? And you see, it's nice and brown, if you can see. Yeah. Let me rather put it in transparent bowl. I think it will be easier for you all to understand. Right. So let's have a look. So what I've done is all the solids are here, right here in the pan, and I have the brown butter right here. Alright guys, so this is ready. I hope you all can see the color. Yeah, this looks amazing, and the aroma is too good. Alright guys, so this was about the first part. The second part is making the caramel. Alright, so we have 145 grams of custard sugar and we need cream. So that is 85 grams of fresh cooking cream. What I'm going to do is, before I start, I'm going to microwave this for 30 seconds, okay? So let's go first, let's microwave this for 30 seconds and then we'll start with the caramel, okay? So why do we microwave our cream? Is because when we make caramel, the temperature of the caramel is going to be very hot, right? And if we put cold cream in it, then you will have clots in it, okay? So to have a smooth caramel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to warm my cream as, okay? So let's get started with the caramel, guys. I hope it's 30 seconds already. I hope you all have your caster sugar with you, right? And we're going to put caster sugar in 3 to 4 parts. Again, on medium heat, you will need a spatula, right? Okay. And we put little caster sugar, little at a time. Okay. Now the best thing about making this caramel is you can actually put your spatula right inside. Okay, it's already 30 seconds and it's right here. It's hot. You know what? I can actually go on for another 20 seconds as well. So if you can please help me with this, another 20 seconds. Thank you. Alright. Meanwhile, what I can see is I can see caramelization of the sugar. So what happens is the sugar first gives out water and then it starts changing the color. Again, be very careful. Take a saucepan, wherein you can see the color, because you really don't want to burn this. Okay? You want a nice dark caramel, but you don't really want a burnt caramel. So cream has gone in for 50 seconds, or 30 seconds, and now 20 seconds. Thank you so much. Guys, if I can show you, it's bubbling, you can see the fumes, it's very hot, and that's what we want, okay? Ensure that you're mixing the caster sugar, guys. Come on, I hope all of you all are with me doing this, along with me. is you can play with the temperature. You know, if you see it's completely white, you know, you can keep adding more sugar and increase the temperature. And if you feel it's going to burn too much, you can just reduce that temperature. Alright, so I'm going to put sugar again. Now, ideally your question should be, when do you know when to put the sugar next again? Okay, so what I like to do is, once the sugar, the first batch melted completely, alright, that's when I will add the second batch. Okay. So guys, if you all have any queries while I'm doing this, what I urge you to do is, after this session, you can go ahead on WOAP page, the Instagram handle, and that's when I will be answering all your queries. So feel free to join me there. Okay. See, this has become completely liquid. Okay. This is completely liquid. Right? That's when I'm going to add the next batch. Okay. So you can do it in 3 to 4 batches, 5 to 6 batches, whatever you are comfortable with. Okay. With caramel, you have to be very careful because this can give you some serious burns. Yeah, so be very careful when you're working with caramel, guys. Very important. Keep mixing, okay? You don't want any lumps. Keep scraping the sides of the pan, guys. Very important. Mixing. See, what happens is, every time you add fresh sugar, it just sort of controls the temperature of the caramel. Alright, so you don't tend to overburn it. Okay. Now goes in the last batch. I hope you all are with me, guys. Come on. Okay. Let's keep doing this. Alright, so I've got a beautiful caramel color. I can show you. Yeah. It's a beautiful caramel color. Alright, now what I'm going to do is get this on the lowest. Alright, it's still very hot. Very, very, very hot. And I'm going to add the cream. Be very careful. Maybe a little overwhelming. Be very careful, guys. If there are kids who are cooking this, I suggest adult supervision. Yeah. Just switch this off completely. Let's put in cream. Absolutely love the color of this one. Okay, this is still nice and hot. Let's get it on the tabletop and let's mix it well. Okay. So I'm done with the hot plate now. We can get rid of this. Right. We have our caramel ready, guys. I hope you all have your caramel ready with me. Just see this beautiful color of the caramel. Rich, dense. Right. So now what I'm going to do is, next I'm going to add brown butter to this. Okay. Remember the brown butter? Yeah. Okay. You see the solids have settled down. So I'm just going to add the brown butter now. Okay, that's it. And I'm going to mix this really well. Guys, go slow, take your time. We are in no rush, no hurry. Everything is very hot. So I really want you to take your time and do this peacefully, okay? Let's all smile as we go making our brown butter caramel. It's all for a good cause, guys. I hope you're getting the aromas of brown butter and caramel together now, right? Go slow while mixing. You can make a whisk too. Okay. And since I'm already working with this, I'm okay to sort of mix it in. Okay. Let me get it into bigger bowls. It's easy. You have to see. I'm going to whisk the butter and the caramel more so that it forms one homogeneous mixture. Alright, I need my whisk. Let's get started. Okay, let's whisk it well. Moving forward from here, it's all very simple. It's just chucking everything in the bowl and then we are done. You see, the caramel is taken in all the butter. Yes. Right, and you see it's so nice now. Just nice. Yummy. Right, I want all of y'all to show me this. Come on guys. Let's all have some fun while baking. Okay. Next thing what we're going to do is we're going to put milk. Ensure your milk is at room temperature. Very important. Okay. Milk goes in. Right. And we'll just whisk this. Okay. I just feel it's easy once you put in the milk and then you put in the dry ingredients. Because if you put the dry ingredients and then the milk, it becomes very difficult for you to fold in the flour. Okay. So once your wet ingredient is ready, what you can do is just put in your flour. This is 145 grams of your regular maida, right? Next goes in is 1 teaspoon of your baking powder and pinch salt. Okay. Put everything inside and ensure that everything inside goes well. Okay. Okay, salt is completely optional. I'm doing it because it's caramel. You know, you do want a pinch of salt, right? Okay. So now just mixing this. Okay. Any given point of time, you feel you would want to add more milk, feel free to add 1 tablespoon of milk. Okay. I think I'm good with it, but if you feel like you would like to add, go ahead and add it. Okay. It's a nice batter. Let's scrape the sides. I want you to see that the consistency. It's quite thick. Just see this, guys. It's quite thick. Okay, and it's absolutely fine. So what I'm going to do is now, I would want you to get a glass and a piping bag and a knife, okay? Right. So we're going to put it in the piping bag. You need a glass, piping bag. It's easier this way. What you can do is just put this inside. Okay? So if you don't have help, then I think it's really easy to work this way. Little, keeping it on the side, and here it is, right here. Okay, easy for me to work. We put this aside. Next, what I need to start off with is the crumble. Okay, so for the crumble, we have 50 grams of cashew. Okay, I'll show you 50 grams of cashew. I've broken them small, just chop them fine, or maybe coarse, whatever you like, however you like. Next, we have 50 grams of flour, which is your regular maida. right? And then we have your 40 grams of icing sugar, and we have 40 grams of butter. So let's get started. I'll get chilled butter from the fridge. Alright guys, so I have chilled butter right here. There's a reason why I'm using chilled butter. Is whenever you use or whenever you make crumble, I think it's better if you sort of use chilled butter. It just makes your cakes so much better. Okay, so go ahead guys, use chilled butter. It's nice. Right. Let's get started with the crumble, guys. Come on, quickly join me. Come into the crumble, please. Now for the crumble, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a big mixing bowl. Okay, I'll keep it right here. Now it's so simple to make it. You're just going to chuck everything in the bowl. Okay, so in goes icing sugar. Ensure that you've sifted this icing sugar. If you don't have icing sugar and if you have custard sugar, that's absolutely fine with me, no problem. Okay, right, next goes in flour, your regular maida. Next, nuts, cashew nuts, and then chilled butter. Okay guys, I kept this in the fridge. I just got it out now. Okay. So whenever you're dealing with crumble, you want it to crumble, right? So what you do is you take chilled butter. This is again salted butter, and then with the tip of your fingers, you're just going to like mix it all in. Okay, you are not going to give it heat with your palms. You're just going to mix it gently inside, right? And you just want to rub this thing. Okay. Come on, let's do this. You can even make this crumble in advance before your cake, and you can keep it ready. So as soon as your cake is done, all you have to do is just put the crumble on top and just put it for. Okay. So I think my oven is almost preheated. I'm almost done. Just mixing this well, right? You can put it in, and then we can start with the bake. If any of you all have joined me in right now, we are making a brown butter caramel cake, and we are already done with the batter. What we are making now is the crumble. Okay. If you like cinnamon, you can just add like a pinch of cinnamon to this, and you can just make it like really yummy. Yeah. And so you can add spices in this as well, no problem. And also, if you're not fond of cashews, or if you don't have cashews back home, you can even use almonds. You can use pistachios. You can use hazelnuts. You know, that's the best part when you're working with caramel cake. It's so versatile that you can just add like any nut to it, like, and it will still taste delicious. Okay, guys. So here I am. See, just bang on time, right? So here I am making the crumble. It's ready. Just see the texture of the crumble. It's so beautiful. Yeah, and this is what I want it to be. Okay, I don't want any doughy, lumpy crumble. I want this light, delicate crumble. Okay, so now please understand what we have done is we don't want to activate the gluten of the flour. We want it to be nice and light. Okay, and yeah, so that's what we have done. So you take chilled butter and you work with your fingertips, and ensure to wash your hands if you all have warm hands. Okay. So let's do this. Let's go wash hands and then come and put everything together. So guys, I hope you're ready. Let's line our tins. Okay. So I've given you an option of either a 6-inch ring, okay, which you can use. What I'm going to do is I have these rectangular molds, and they are like 4 cm by 12 cm. So I'm going to use this because I think it looks nice and it will take less time for baking, because I'm going to bake this and I'm going to glaze it right in front of you all. Alright, so I'm going to take these. I need 6 of these for the entire recipe, but I'm just going to do 3 at the moment. Okay, you all can see I have kept this right here. Alright, and what I need is this. Okay. Let's cut this. It's the tabletop. Right? And let's go. So I filled like half of it, okay? Not like completely. Okay. Just like half of it. It's better I feel to work with the piping bag because then it's more neater that way. Alright, so here it is. Just have a look. Yeah. Right. Next what I'm going to do is just put the crumble on top, guys. Be generous with the crumble and your donations, okay? And just press the crumble a little inside. It's essential that you press the crumble a little, right, so it sticks. So I'm going to put this for baking at 160 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes, okay? And suppose if you all have the 6-inch shrink, which you guys have, this will take around 20 to 25 minutes, okay? But what you see here is not going to take more than 15 minutes, okay guys? So let's go ahead and bake this. So meanwhile it's baking, I'd like to explain to you, how my oven is going, how it's baking, what is the mode that I've set it. So I need top coil, bottom coil and fan. Okay, if you don't have fan, that's absolutely fine, but I need top coil, bottom coil. Okay, and I've placed it in the lowest rack. Okay, now if your oven is good, you can place it in the center rack, no problem. But with my oven, I know it goes well in the lowermost rack. Okay, so that's what I have done. I have placed it down. And if you have those smaller ovens which have browning from one side, what you can do is put it right in. After 8 minutes, remove them, twist them, and then push it back in again. Okay, so that it has even browning from all the sides. Ensure that if you're putting the crumble, you're not putting too much crumble. I've made this for the entire recipe, it goes very well. But I've made the entire recipe and I'm using only half of it. So it's absolutely perfect. Okay, the crumble is just going to stick on top, but provided you push the crumble. Okay, ensure that you're pushing the crumble on top, otherwise it's going to be everywhere, right? And while we leave the cake to bake, I hope you guys are having fun. And guys, again a gentle reminder while you're having fun that this is a fundraiser event. So please go ahead and make generous donations. We're here for a good cause. So let's all come together and support this brilliant cause, and let's do this together. Okay guys, the link is given right there in the comment section, so you can go ahead and make your donations right there. Alright, so what I'm going to do is quickly clean up everything and we're going to line up for the glaze. Okay, now for the glaze, one of the things that I would want you to do is first you need the cooling rack. Okay, any cooling rack is fine. Next, you need a baking tray. So what I have done is, this baking tray, I have just plain wrapped it, if you can see. And then you're wondering why I've done this, because if I glaze it, okay, I can collect all the glaze in the tray itself, and I don't have to keep washing my tray. And then what I can do is, whenever I can just like store this again, and whenever I need it, I can use it again. Okay. So meanwhile, our cakes are baking. I would want you to do this. Prep for this space. Okay. Next, for the glaze, let's understand what we have. We have 200 grams of chocolate. You can take pure, you can take compound, whatever you have at the moment is what you can take. Next, what I have done is I have taken 100 grams of butter. This is again Amul salted butter. I love salted butter, so I think I only work with salted butter. Okay, and next we have around 50 grams of cashew. So I've just, if you lightly roast this, it will be really nice, and just chop it into smaller pieces till the time our cake is baking. And yeah, let's just clean this up and let's do our preps for the glaze now. Alright guys? Guys, so our cake is still in the oven. It will take roughly around 10 minutes for it to bake. I've taken the small tins, so they will take lesser time to bake. Meanwhile, let's discuss a few things. Our favorite topic, egg free. So why I call it egg free? Because it is free of egg. A lot of people call it eggless. It technically means less of egg, but the right term is egg free, which means it is completely free of egg. And so when I had gone abroad for my training, and when I came back, I had this huge demand and people asking, anytime I would put a dessert in front of my friends, they would be like, Ruhi, is this eggless? And I would wonder why, and I realized that there was a huge demand and nobody had looked into this market. This is what I'm talking about, almost 8 to 9 years ago. And that's when I decided to jump in, take it as a challenge. And ever since then, I've been working only with egg-free recipes. So if you actually give me eggs, I'll take like 5-7 minutes, to sort of know what to do with it, okay? And yeah, so starting from very basic recipes, I've now created a little complex recipes like your entremets, your macarons, your meringues and all. And trust me guys, they're all simple. I just feel egg-free recipes are so much simpler to handle, to do, they're more like one bowl, one whisk recipe. Yeah, so that's about the egg free and a little bit journey of how I got into egg free. And let's understand the points to remember for this recipe, or the pressure points. So first thing is when we start is your browning of the butter. Do not over brown your butter. Be careful, do not burn it, okay? And the second point is your caramel. Ensure you don't burn your caramel, because then it will give a very bitter flavor to your cake, alright? So when to stop is the key. Focus on the color and you will know what to do, okay? And the third thing is, whenever you're sticking the crumble, remember you need cold butter for the crumble, and ensure that you're working with your fingertips, light and gentle, delicately press it so that it is intact, alright? And yeah, those are the pressure points that you need to remember when you're doing this cake. Otherwise, it's a very simple, easy cake. I've also spoken about baking powder that I've used in the cake. Any regular baking powder, 1 teaspoon. If you're using anything which is double action, then you will use half the quantity. Alright, guys, this is a very simple, quick, easy recipe. And after doing this bake along, I would want you to click loads of pictures, post this, tag me, Chef Ruhi Bhimani, tag World on a Plate, and we'll be very happy to see how it's turned out for you guys. And also, while doing and enjoying that, do not forget this is a fundraiser, and let's all do it together. Let's donate generously. Alright, so guys, still we have time for the cake, so let's do one thing. Let's melt chocolate and butter. So I have taken around 200 grams of chocolate. You can either take pure or compound, no problem. We'll go 20 seconds, very slow, not melting it all together. Alright, so let's go 20 seconds of chocolate in the microwave. And after that, what we're going to do is, after putting 20 seconds inside the microwave, we're going to do 20 seconds with the butter as well. Let's go slow, you're in no hurry, okay? Next, what we're going to do is the cashew. What you can also do is you can roast the cashew at around 150 degrees Celsius for like 8 to 10 minutes. I just feel it gives better crunch, and it's more tastier, when it's roasted. So you can just use the cashews roasted, or you can leave it as it is, no problem, okay? Now with chocolate, you need to remember 20 seconds at a time, okay? Don't go all in, right? So I have 20 seconds, thank you, right here, okay? Right. And you know, realize that during the monsoons, chocolates, they tend to, sort of become more hard, and they don't melt easily, okay? But that doesn't mean you put them at one go for 30 seconds. Go slow, 20 seconds, give it time, okay? And just in case we feel that the glaze is a little grainy or lumpy, what we're going to do is we're going to strain this, okay? But we'll leave it for later, okay? First, let's see what we have. We need another 20 seconds. Goes in the microwave. meanwhile, let us discuss a few things. This cake has very good shelf life. So, you can keep this cake in the fridge for about a week, and you can just have it whenever you want to. Just what you can do is put it, get it to room temperature, put it outside in the room temperature, and then that's when you're going to consume, okay? It's absolutely yummy. Okay, so this is 20 seconds, right. And butter also goes in for 20 seconds. Thank you. Right. Mix, 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 mix. Ensure you mix this well, and also ensure that your chocolate is not too hot or your butter is also not too hot. They just need to be somewhere between 35 to 45, not much more than that. Thank you. The butter is melted too. And entire butter in this. It's lovely. And now just mix it, okay, gently. All mixed together. It's so amazing to see this. This has a beautiful sheen. Amazing. Okay, guys, go slow with this. Go easy on this. If you still feel it has any kind of lumps or anything, you can just put it in the microwave together, this entire bowl, for about 10 to 15 seconds. Yeah, not too much. Rather, I would say mix it well. Yeah, that's more important. See this? Lovely. Again, don't be in a hurry to put nuts. It's okay, this can wait. First, let's get the glaze right, and then we put in the nuts. Okay. So what we're going to do is, if we have a glass bowl, if we can just get a glass bowl, yeah, and I'll just strain it because just to be safe. Okay, let me just get one quick glass bowl. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just strain this. Okay. It's very important that you strain it. Okay. So it's done. You guys, do not skip this step. Okay. Ensure that you strain it well. Okay. You want a good glaze. Okay. So guys, I've used very simple ingredients, accessible ingredients, so it's easy for all of you all to do this recipe. Okay, it's nothing tough, it's very easy, and I hope and I'm looking forward that you all actually go ahead and do this. Okay, so we've mixed chocolate and butter, and here we have cashew nuts. All right, so I'll just quickly go and have a look at the oven. Go and let's have a look. See, they are cooked. Okay, now how do I know that they're cooked? Is I just press them, okay? And it's done. It's done really well, and you can see that the cashews have browned a bit. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll leave it for cooling now. Okay. Leave it for cooling. And what we will do is after a minute or so, I'm just going to use a knife and we'll try to loosen it from the sides. Okay. So meanwhile, what I'm going to do is now in the glaze, I'm going to add. Okay. Now suppose if you don't have cashew, you can use hazelnuts, you can use almonds, whatever, even peanuts. Okay, no problem. Whatever you have at hand, just use it. Okay. Glass. Let's put it in a piping bag. This makes our life even more easier. Right. Just let's put the glaze right inside. Okay. Wait. Right. Let's wait for a couple of seconds. I hope we all have got your tray lined with the cling wrap. Yes, if you haven't, please go ahead and do it. It's important at this stage. Come on, guys. Now we've reached the final stage where we're going to do the glazing bit. Okay, what I'm going to do is just put the knife. Okay. You want to see how it comes out? That's it. So easy. Okay. It's hard. Be careful. Okay. Right. Oh, this looks gorgeous. Okay. Right. So that's a little hot. Now what I'm going to do is here. Cooling rack right here, and let's place them one by one. Okay, it will cool off faster here on the cooling rack. Okay, so I hope y'all can see. Okay. Alright, one. The schools are pretty fast as well because it's quite small in size, right? So it bakes fast, it cools off faster. Okay, let's go ahead and place this. Alright guys, I'm going to just focus a little down so you can be there with me. Yeah. Let's get this away. Cut it off, okay, and cut the thick one because you have nuts as well, okay, don't cut the thin one please. Push this, let's keep this aside, let's go. Alright, what we're going to do is just quickly pour the glaze over this. Just cut a little more bigger. For the moment, I'm just going to place only one for you all. Just look at it. It's so nice and chunky, isn't it? What you can otherwise do is, you can just drizzle, if you don't want to do a glaze, you can also drizzle some caramel and just on top. And that's about it, okay? You can just consume the cake as it is, or you can glaze it, okay? And if you don't want to do anything, then you can just have the cake by itself, and it's going to be so moist and yum. What I'm going to do is the final plating for this, so guys, get ready for this. Right? Yeah, I hope it's good. Let me see if I can miss any spot from here. Just in the edges a little. Alright, so this is done. very excited about this. I love the sheen. I love the sheen on this. I think it's beautiful. All right, and I've got this right here. Okay. Right. Let me just clean. Started. All right. Let the excess drip off. Okay. Okay. And we just hit. And just push it in. That's it. Okay. And here it is, right here, okay? Yummy, delicious. We'll allow the glaze to set and then free to eat this, okay? Meanwhile, I would love to show you the texture of this cream, if I can show you, okay? So yummy. I can't wait to bite into this. Okay, but I'm going to do that after the video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and do not forget that you know, it's a fundraiser. If you guys have had fun, and please go ahead and make generous donations in the link below. Do give this yummy recipe a try, and do click loads of pictures and send me, and you'll be very happy to see how it's turned out for you. So thank you so much, guys. Happy baking.
एक कदम आगे फिर 2 कदम पीछे।
हेल्थ और टेस्ट की लड़ाई में अब आप रहिए 2 कदम आगे विद फिलिप्स एयर फ्रायर। इसकी ट्विन टर्बो स्टार टेक्नोलॉजी cooks with up to 90% less fat. There's always a way to make life better. Innovation and you. Philips.